Hello everyone and welcome back to another Dead by Daylight video. This is going to be a bit more of a different video for you guys. New series starting on this channel covering everything in Dead by Daylight to help you learn the game from beginner level all the way to advanced mechanics. Today we're starting off with the basics of a new survivor, including what the objective of each trial is, as well as what survivor to start off with and what beginner perks to use. Before I do get into today's video, I just want to let you know I do stream every Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday over on Twitch. So if you want to ask some more questions, link is down below in the description. I will be creating more guides going forward. Feel free to leave a like if you enjoyed this one and subscribe if you want to see more of my guides going forward. To start off with, let's talk about survivors as a whole. All have the same base movement speed and all this very similar characteristics. They basically are just a cosmetic, a skin, if you'd like. The difference is between the survivors, they all come with different teachable perks. These teachable perks can be learnt by other survivors once unlocked by the original survivor that owns a teachable. For example, go to Dwight here. His teachable perks include Bond, Prove Thyself, and Leader. Each teachable perk can be unlocked in the Blood Web. For example, Bond can be unlocked for all other survivors at level 30. Prove Thyself can be unlocked at level 35. And Leader can be unlocked at level 40. It'll be the same level marks for every survivor. Begin the game as a brand new player, you'll have access to 7 new survivors. These 7 new survivors are Dwight, Meg, Claudette, Jake, Nia, Bill, and David. There are a lot more survivors in the game, as you can see. You have to pay real money for, or iridescent shards, which you gain by playing over time. Before you even start playing an online game of Dead by Daylight, please be sure to go to the Getting Started section and complete the survivor tutorial and killer tutorial. These will give you extra bonus blood points to start off with, and you can also play a practice match against bots as a survivor and as a killer. You gain 200,000 bonus blood points to start off with, which help you level up early in the game. Now, if you are a free-to-play player and you don't want to spend any more money in this game, that's fine. The survivor I recommend you start off with is Meg Thomas. She has some great teachable perks. They include Quick and Quiet, Sprint Burst, and Adrenaline. Quick and Quiet's a decent stealth perk, allowing you to vault windows and pallets fast, but make no noise for the killer to detect you. Sprint Burst is an exhaustion perk. When you start running, you run faster for 3 seconds. And Adrenaline gives you a sprint burst at the end of the game and instantly heals you as well if you're injured. So it's a great end game perk. If you are happy to spend a little bit of money in this game or grind out some iridescent shards, I would recommend picking up Feng Min. She has great perks across the board for a beginner. If you are on console, I believe she's free to play from the beginning if you have this game on console instead of PC. Her free teachables are Technician, which helps you with skill checks. So when you're repairing generators, the noise you make from repairing generators is less. If you miss a skill check, the generator will not explode. It will lose progress though still, but it will not explode and allow, your location to be known to the killer. Life is a exhaustion perk similar to Sprint Burst, but this only activates if you vault over a pallet or a window. Alert allows you to see the killer whenever they break a pallet or a wall. I recommend you level up your chosen survivor, whether it be Meg or Feng, up to level 15, and then stop leveling that survivor. And whatever other blood points you earn or have, put them into other survivors to gain their teachable perks to unlock them on your chosen survivor, whether it's Meg or Feng. If you chose Meg as your first survivor, I recommend to build something like this. So you have her 2 teachables here in Adrenaline and Sprint Burst, which you begin with Meg, so that's not a problem. And then I'd recommend for your last 2 perk slots, you can either run Quick and Quiet, her own teachable perk, so you have 3 slots, or you can try and get a couple other perks which are available to every survivor. That is Kindred, which allows you to see the killer if they are in the range of a hooked survivor. Another perk I'd recommend is We'll Make It. Once you've unhooked a fellow survivor, you can heal at a faster speed. Or if you don't like either of those 2, there is Spine Chill, which lights up on your screen whenever the killer is looking in your direction. If you chose Feng Min, as your first survivor. Obviously, you have her 3 teachables to use. And then you can also throw in something like Kindred, Spine, Chill will make it to fill in this 4th perk slot. Once you think you've gotten the hang of hitting your skill checks, I'll take this perk off because it won't provide that much value for you anymore, and replace it with one of the other 2 perks. Or you can replace it with something like Self-Aware, which is another common perk now for all survivors, which allows you to see all scratch marks, which helps you understand scratch marks in the game as well. It's a very beginner-friendly perk as well. But yeah, experiment to see what will suit your playstyle as well, guys. There are also 4 teachable perks available to be purchased in the Shrine of Secrets, which is located in the store. So if we go back in here, we go to the store. Look on the tabs up the top, we go to Shrine of Secrets. There are 2 perks for Survivor and 2 perks for Killer available for purchase. And these can be purchased with iridescent shards. I recommend waiting and not buying every single perk that comes in to the shrine, because not all of them are great. And just try and wait until there's something that's really good in here, something you're really aiming for. From the free-to-play survivors, perks I'd recommend aiming for. There's 2 from Dwight I'd recommend, Bond and Prove Thyself. Bonds obviously help you find your teammates. And Prove Thyself increases generator speed when you're working on a generator with another survivor. Bill, I would actually go for first, as he has Borrowed Time, which is an amazing perk to help save survivors from the hook. And Unbreakable is an awesome perk as well when you're in the dying state to pick yourself up off the ground if you're not able to be helped up by your fellow teammates. Another one I'd recommend is David King. He comes with some great perks as well. We're Gonna Live Forever is a great blood point grinding perk. He also comes with Dead Hard, which is another exhaustion perk. A bit more advanced to use, but when used correctly, can really prolong a chase. And if you're willing to spend some money, which I know not everyone is, Laurie Strode comes with the Halloween chapter, so you do have to spend real money. You can't just buy iridescent shards, you will have to spend real money. But she comes with a perk called Decisive Strike, which gives you a second chance if you've been chased a lot and being focused by the killer. There's so many great perk combinations you create with just these perks that I've listed. So experiment, see what suits you. You know, my preference is always going to be different to yours, so run what you think suits you. But as a beginner, once you've got all those perks that I've listed as teachable, I think a best bet, I'd run something like this. So you have Sprint Burst and Self-Aware, which allow you to walk faster, and you can see your own scratch marks. And while walking faster, you'll regain your exhaustion back from your Sprint Burst. Borrowed Time to go for some saves when you need to, and Prove Thyself to help you complete gens. Okay, let's get into some gameplay basics. So at the beginning of a trial, you need to try and find a generator as fast as possible. There are 7 generators on the map, and you need to repair 5 of them to be able to unlock the exit gates and escape the map. When repairing generators, as I've kind of hinted at, you'll be faced with skill checks where you'll need to enter your primary input, or you're on controller or on mouse and keyboard. You'll need to enter the primary input when the dash enters the outlined area. If you miss this area, you will miss the skill check, and it will cause the generator to explode. Doing so, you'll lose some progress on the generator and also alert the killer of your position. If you do hit the skill check in the outlined area, you'll continue repairing the generator as normal. But if you hit the skill check in the white area, you'll gain a great skill check, which means you'll get a little bit of extra progression on the generator. When moving around the map, you have 3 options. You can walk, you can crouch, or you can run. Walking and crouch walking is the slowest movement options, but give you some more stealth to avoid being seen by the killer if he's nearby. Or you can run, and running allows the killer to track your scratch marks that you leave behind, but they do dissipate over time. If you know the killer's in a nearby area but hasn't found you yet, it might be ideal to crouch around and walk around to try and avoid being spotted. But if he's not in your area and you know you're kind of safe, best to run around and do a generator, because time is everything in this game. You know the killer is heading your location or nearby by hearing the heartbeat and some music, and this will intensify as the killer gets closer to you. This is known as the terror radius and can help you identify if the killer is near or far away. If you have been found by the killer, you need to run to avoid being hit and put on a hook. This is the chase, and this is a main aspect of the game. When in a chase, you need to use your environment to avoid the killer for as long as possible to allow your teammates to continue working on generators. Try to look for windows to vault. There are also pallets around the map you can use, and you can drop these pallets as you're running past them as a survivor. If you get the timing right and the killer is right behind you, this will stun the killer and give you more distance. Be sure not to try and use all the pallets on the map though, as this is a finite resource, and eventually you may run out of pallets and may put you and your team at a disadvantage later in the game when you're being chased. Generally takes 2 attacks from the killer to down the survivor, 1 attack to injure the survivor. When the survivor is injured, they will cry, moan. They'll also leave pools of blood, which are able to be tracked even if you're walking and crouching. This can be tracked at all times. When the survivor is crying and moaning, this can also alert the killer to your location if they're, wearing a god tier headset. Once a survivor has been downed, killer will then pick up the survivor and put them on a hook. A survivor can be hooked 3 times. Once they've been hooked the 3rd time, they're out of the game. They've been sacrificed. If a fellow survivor is hooked, you should make your way towards the hook to try and save them. Perks like Borrowed Time, Kindred, Will Make It will help in this situation. Once your team repairs 5 generators, you can then make your way towards the exit gates to escape. These exit gates take 20 seconds to open, and there's 2 on each map. However, there is also another way to escape a match. If you are the last survivor, you can escape through a hatch which spawns in a random location in the map. It can be hard to find, so be warned. The killer will also be looking for this hatch as well if you are the last survivor, as it's an additional means of escape which the killer can close if they find the hatch before you. Once it's closed, the only way of escape is for the survivor to escape through exit gates, which is a lot easier for the killer to patrol. I recommend if you're playing alone to try and bring a med kit into matches with you so you can self-heal yourself at a decent speed. Once you've opened the exit gates, you're free. You can run through the exit gates and escaped, and you have survived the trial of Dead by Daylight. Okay guys, that will be about it for this video. I hope you enjoyed and found it useful. Let me know if you have any more questions about this game below in the comment section. Want to catch me live as well on Twitch? You know where to find me. The link is down below. Keep an eye out. Take care. Stay safe. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.
In your palm was a young icon, now you're gone. But I could get used to you. I could probably get used to you. I could get